everybody. Someone on my Instagram asked me what I was going to be for Halloween this year. Now, I live in India and here we don't really celebrate Halloween. We celebrate Diwali, which is the festival of lights. However, ever since the idea of Halloween was introduced to me by this person, I started thinking of some easy costume ideas, something that I have at home, something that won't require me to spend any money. And I landed on the perfect idea. Let me just be my parents' disappointment. Well, that might be cheating because I'm not just a disappointment for Halloween. I'm a disappointment every day. But we're not going to talk about that. Disappointment. He said one day you'll leave this world behind. So live a life you will remember. My father told me when I was just a child, these are the nights that never die. My father told me. Actually, my father would never say that. No Indian father would ever say that. This dress has been lying on my cupboard for the last 3 years.
And why did you buy this dress?
Is that even a question? I'm offended. It's pink. I like Mean Girls. And on Wednesdays, we wear pink. I bought this dress and I didn't tell my parents because I knew they would be mad. Eventually, they did find out. My mother was shocked because it's a short dress and she was like, I would never allow you to wear this. My father was like, if I ever see you wear this in public, I'm gonna break your leg. I'm rather attached to my leg, so I decided to keep this in the cupboard and totally forget about it. But not anymore. You know why? Because I am a gangster. I'm a rebel. So I'm going to wear this today. Aunties, excuse me for this uncivilized, barbaric, slutty, and frankly, whorish display of my bare legs.
On the last day of October, I decided to go to Subway for the very first time. I've also never been to a McDonald's or a KFC or a Domino's for that matter. I live in a small townish location. There is no McDonald's or KFC near my house, but there is a Domino's.
I never went there because I don't like pizza. Now wait a minute, before you cancel me, hear me out. There are 2 main reasons why I don't eat pizza. Number 1, I am lactose intolerant. Pizza has cheese. Number 2, I hate cheese. There, I said it. I know people are going to be extremely offended, but I don't know what else to say. I hate the taste of cheese. It's tangy, it's salty, and it's stretchy like a rubber band. When I see cheese, I try to run away through the back door. But don't you worry, because this video is not about cheese or the upset stomach that I get after having the cheese. This video is about my journey to Subway. Now there's a Subway close to my house, but I've never been there because I'm not a huge fan of sandwiches and it's kind of expensive there. The reason I'm suddenly interested in trying some Subway sandwich is because there's a guy on YouTube who makes these Subway related videos. His name is Milad from Subway. I watch his shorts every day and every time I see him make a sandwich, a little voice in my head says, "Those look nice, you should try them out."
So on this eventful day, Prom and I decided to try some of these sandwiches. Prom parked her cycle in the cycle stand, which had solar panels on the roof, which was pretty cool to be honest. There was a forest and some rice fields next to the Subway, so we decided to explore a bit before having our lunch. The students from the agriculture department plant different high-yielding varieties of crops in these fields as part of their project. The place was beautiful and full of greenery. It was a pretty secluded spot, quiet and peaceful. It's an academic section of the campus where students can study in a calm environment. It was Sunday, so that might be a reason why it was so empty. It almost looked deserted. Besides, most students are still at home. If you look closely, you'll notice a truck coming out from the far left corner. There's a dirt road there, which leads to who knows where. Prom wanted to go there, but I wanted to go into the forest. When we were kids, we would come there for school picnics in the winter. I couldn't find the entrance to the forest. There is a proper entrance, there's a path, and people can go inside. But I guess this part of the forest is very dense and has a lot of undergrowth, so we couldn't go in. There was a pretty picturesque house in the outskirts of the forest. We stood at the gate, no one was around. It seemed empty, but not abandoned. The front yard was clean, and there were flowers in the bushes. It had a charm of its own. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveller, long I stood, Just kidding, we traveled both the roads. I tried to climb a tree. It seemed easy at first because there were many low branches, but there were also ants in the tree. As soon as I grabbed the trunk, they started biting me. I had to retreat. I had to flee the scene. After walking quite a while, we got tired and decided to rest. We played this game called 5 Years in the Future, which I had created. It's very simple and quite literal. We just say what we imagine our lives would be 5 years in the future. It's fun. It's great. It's glorified daydreaming. You get the feeling of being successful without actually doing anything because it's all in your imagination. At 1:30, we decided to have our lunch. We went inside the subway and checked the menu which was in the wall. Well, at least I pretended to check the menu. I already knew what I wanted to eat. I had memorized the menu from the website. Prom got a peri-peri chicken sub and I got a tandoori chicken tikka sub. We also got a drink and a double chocolate chip cookie. It was pricey. The whole order cost us 420 rupees. Now, I was under the impression that I'm going to get a free cookie. Milad lured me to the subway with this promise. But Milad, you treacherous man, you subway siren, you betrayed me. When we ordered, the staff just told us to go and have a seat. So we sat and waited. Then I realized they had already started making our sandwich without asking us what we wanted them to put in the sub. By the time I went there, they had already bathed my sandwich with cheese. It was totally my fault. I'm an idiot. I thought they were going to make the sub in front of me and ask me my preferences. Now, since I can't be an impartial judge about the sandwich, let me just rate the bread. The bread was good. It was chewy and crispy. It had a nice crust. I would give it an A. However, if I'm being generous, I can give the chicken a B at most. But this is India, so if you get a B, you're still a disappointment. My favorite thing in the whole order was the double chocolate chip cookie. Prom didn't like it. She said it tasted like soggy wet Kellogg's Chocos or any other chocolate cereal. I don't know. I loved it. After the meal, I bought their expensive water and chips because I had to cleanse my palate. The cheese was soaking into my taste buds and it was disgusting. When the clock struck 3, I bid my farewell to prom and returned home. On the 1st of November, I got up early, I got dressed, and I prepared for my journey to Kolkata. I had an appointment with my endocrinologist because, as I mentioned in my last video, I have secondary hypothyroidism. On my journey, I entertained myself by listening to the audiobook of Mansfield Park written by Jane Austen. I might review the book in my next video. There was heavy traffic on the roads because of Diwali. In the doctor's waiting room, I saw a couple, and as soon as I saw them, I was like, oh my god, that is a chapri nibba and nibbi. Please don't tell me to translate that. I do not have enough qualifications. They had each other's names tattooed on their arms. When teenagers do that, it makes sense. We know that they'll probably regret it for the rest of their lives or have it covered up. But these two were a married couple. They even had a kid. So what was the purpose of the tattoo? Were they afraid that they're gonna forget each other's names as they get older and have to look at their arms for reference? I don't know. I didn't ask. It will always be a mystery unsolved. I got home at around 9 p.m. and I fell asleep shortly after. So good night and sweet dreams.